right, good evening everyone. This is the Auburn School Buildings Committee meeting for October 25th, 2016. I'd like to open it with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is being recorded and broadcast. Ask if anybody else is recording. Nope. Okay, next item up on the agenda is citizens' comments. I don't see any. Okay, next item, approval of meeting minutes. They're in the packet that went out from meeting quite a few months ago. So, entertain a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
Motion to accept the meeting of January 26, 2016.
Second.
And we have a second. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of approving these meeting minutes? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's voted and approved. All right, next item is general update from project team and stuff. Who's going up first? Who's taking the barrel?
I'll make a report. I'll start with the HVAC. As you know, we've had some issues with HVAC that have been prolonging the project. And we haven't met for quite a while. Since then, a lot's happened, and it's been a pretty long and deliberate process of investigation and testing and back and forth. But at this point, the rooftop equipment was identified as the most probable cause of these ongoing HVAC issues. At one time, we thought it was the controls, the automatic temperature controls. But the manufacturer has come forward and acknowledged that they had some problems with control boards. They've replaced control boards on the rooftop equipment, and they've performed other warranty work in conjunction with KMD, the filed sub-bid HVAC contractor. I would like to say too that KMD and Fontaine have been cooperative, worked really, put in a lot of hours on this project. Nobody's walked away from the issues that are out there, but at this point we feel like we're coming to resolution of that. At this point, Fontaine has been asked to provide an extended warranty on the HVAC system and that rooftop equipment to cover you through one entire heating season, because we've never really had the equipment, or you've never had the equipment operating correctly for a whole season. You may remember that there were some coil freeze-ups, and by the time the coils got replaced, we were into the cooling season, so you didn't get to see the units operate properly in the heating season, which we're now coming up on. So what we've asked is for Fontaine to extend that warranty. You're actually out of warranty as of July, but these are warranty items that began prior to complete that date happening. So they're still covered, but Fontaine has agreed to provide that warranty letter. They've asked the equipment supplier and KMD to provide them with corresponding letters, and we're waiting to see that language and confirm that language is acceptable. So as of right now, we've got an acknowledgement from Fontaine that they'll cover this. And Jamie, I don't know if there's anything else you want to report on the individual players. You know, there's a couple of different players, but you have a contract with Fontaine, not all of the individual suppliers and subcontractors. So what we've asked for is for Fontaine to submit this letter and cover you through the heating season, just to ensure that things operate correctly and you don't have a repeat of last year. So that's the status of that, is we're waiting to see the format of that letter. We have not seen it to date. At this point, about $73,000 retainage is being held on the HVAC side of things. That's really the majority of the closeout. There is an additional, I don't know, $10,000 or $20,000 of retainage being held on Fontaine for just miscellaneous items. We anticipate that once we have the letter and any of the small miscellaneous items are complete, the other retainage will be released. Commissioning is still ongoing. The commissioning agent hired by MSBA WSP has been out here, and they essentially recommissioned all of the rooftop equipment. So they repeated the process that happened last or a year ago, this past fall. And as of last week, they were just waiting for temperatures to drop low enough so that they can complete their full heating mode simulation. Temperatures as of last week were too high. Now we're into the lower temperatures. They'll be able to complete that and make their final report. They have found a few items. I think there was work being done out there today. There were some hot water valves that were found to be incorrect. They were replaced. I don't know what off the top of my head, I don't know what the other miscellaneous items are, but that one heating mode simulation is kind of the key thing at this point. Lastly, we were asked to provide a design for dehumidification of the gymnasium. We have begun work on that, and I know we've gotten equipment specs for one of the manufacturers for a dehumidification rooftop unit for that gym, for that work, and documents are progressing. That will be completed in terms of providing sketches for pricing and passed on to Fontaine for pricing on that one. Any questions on HVAC issues? Well,
I will tell you that there has been a lot happening since the last meeting. It's been got to a frustration point level at one point where we got a little heated with things and pushed people around, but the manufacturer, Addison, of the rooftop units was kind of pushing back on everything, and they kept on pointing fingers at, no, it's him, no, it's him. They had to prove out every piece, and they got to bring, Fontaine and KMD did step up and stay with it the whole time. I'm sure they were frustrated with it, and going back and checking all this out, but then they finally started to admit that they nationwide had some issues with these circuit boards and stuff in the units and stuff, so it took us a long time to get there, but hopefully we're there on that.
That's right.
Everybody's been, the design team, Skanska and everybody's been working on it for a long time here and has been staying with it, so it was quiet, not having the meetings and everything, but there was a lot going on, unfortunately, but I think it's coming to a good place. So in terms of general project closeout, at this point, all of the as-built drawings have been reviewed and approved in electronic format, and will, if they haven't already been turned over to Joe's office, will be shortly. We were waiting for site as-built, and we went through 5 or 6 submittals before we got things to the point where they were acceptable. Landscape work, remedial work is complete, except there are a few plants that are not available in nurseries at this time of year, and those will have to be replaced in the spring. There's just a few last plants. In terms of a final payment and final change order, one of the things that has to be done before closing the project out with MSBA is that all of the financials need to be closed out. All the final change order, final application for payment needs to be paid and the funds dispersed. And that can't happen until after the
after this gym HVAC work is at least approved and a change order executed for that. That's pretty much my report. Those are the two main things. I do have a couple other things to say. One is Auburn Middle School has been recognized by Learning by Design magazine and also by the American Institute of Architects Central Mass chapter, and has received awards from both those entities. So we're very proud of that, and congratulations to the entire project team, including yourselves, for a successful project. And I'd also like to, I've had this, we haven't had a meeting in so long, I've had this at my desk, but we've had it ready to, I'd like to present this this photo to Mary Ellen Brunel, Superintendent.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks, Sarah, very much.
And
Thank you, Eric.
that's it.
Watch it, Eric.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions on that stuff? Good. Okay. It's, been going.
It is.
I think, Joe, you're probably,
You have to be there.
you've been in the midst of it all and everything, so.
Yeah,
I think-
I have been, and it's been an honor to work with all these gentlemen. They're true to their word.
So.
It's a long haul, but they'll,
But we're starting to turn the corner, though, it looks like. Good. So if there's nothing else on that, we'll move on to the next agenda item, is just, we got two.
Just one question.
Sure.
Are the students being affected in any way with what is happening, what has happened, and is what has yet to happen?
I don't believe so. I mean, I think Dr. Brunel can.
The
Yes.
educational program has continued, so they've really worked around the Mr. Fahey's worked with the team and done some of the work on weekends or beyond the school day, so there's been minimal, if any, disruption at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think just on the gym, I think it was mostly felt in the summertime. We had a pretty humid summer this year, but the gym was, and Joe can talk to us further, it just wasn't, it was a very tough place to be in the summertime for all the use that it was getting and stuff, and that's why they asked to consider and see if we could do a unit. We've, under budget so much, so that's said go ahead and let's put a package together and at least get some numbers on it and see what, how we go forward with it. So it's, it's the one last piece. Otherwise, I think the building's certainly looking like and being used to its fullest. So it's
Very good.
all right. So the next item is approval of invoices. There's two applications for Fontaine in here for payment. We got 22 and 23.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay application number 22 dated June 20th, 2016, Fontaine Brothers, in the amount of $325,753.32. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions, concerns about this application? All right, seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That's approved.
Also, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to pay application number 23 dated October 17th, 2016, Fontaine Brothers, in the amount of $103,723.41. Second.
Questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That's approved. So that's done. That's all we have for invoices. Other items, anything else?
Could I ask Joe, the FF&E is all set?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'd just like to go on record. Over a year ago, I brought up in one of the meetings the situation with having security detectors or whatever at the entrances to our schools. And with everything that's transpired in the last year, I was sort of put on the side burner when I brought that up, and I think we need to look seriously at that.
What do we have as security right now?
We have
Just
a
not
door
gonna-
lock,
just not-
visibility, they see the person and they let them in.
Okay.
The procedure, through the chair, the procedure to get into any of our schools is they need to get buzzed into the first set of doors, and then they need to actually share a license and sign in before being buzzed in the second time. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes, I just think that there's a possibility of something seriously happening with the system that we have. And you think it's lock-proof, and I don't think it is.
Mm.
Well, I mean, we do have a public, or the safety committee that meets, on all the buildings and stuff, which is made up of, school officials, police and fire and town officials, right?
Correct, we do, and they've made recommendations for all of our buildings, including Auburn Middle School. And in fact, I think we've implemented every one of the recommendations.
Yes, we
Look,
have.
It's
We
gone
we also
forward.
have cameras there also, in both, all the door entrances. So I don't know what more could.
Mm.
Mr. Chairman, I think the superintendent is very pleased with the security.
I am. I thank the school advisory, the safety advisory team. They meet on a regular basis. And their role is really to look at all of our buildings and make recommendations of ways that they think we can enhance our safety. And through the years, we've accepted all those recommendations and done them.
Seems to
So.
be ongoing.
It is. It's an ongoing work in progress, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
I'd just like to know too, I agree with Mr. Grossman about the detectives. We have too much going on in this world today. I don't know if they're going to can be done now or not, but at least put it on record.
Yeah, I mean, we can't, it's a policy thing, in terms of the building that we're doing the building, but, I don't know, I think it's a, it's a, I don't know, it's one of those games that they play, you have a lot of people a lot smarter than us looking at some of that stuff and, figuring out which is the best way to approach it. I mean, yes, there always could be more done, but, to what extent? And
How often does this group meet?
I don't know, how often does the safety advisory meets on a regular basis?
They meet a couple times a month.
Yeah, it's generally a couple times a month.
Yeah.
They do.
We're
Can
actually-
can this be just brought up as a reminder to them, and that it's been mentioned, and that they can be abreast of what's going on, I'm sure, where they are in the rest of the country,
Sure.
and the seriousness of, we don't want to have something happen after
Right.
the fact. We could have corrected it beforehand.
Well, I would say to you through the chair, I agree, and we take the safety of our students and staff very, very seriously across the district. So I will certainly mention to Mr. Fahey, he's one of the representatives on there, that a concern was brought forward, but that is something that we do on an ongoing basis, even in addition to what the safety advisory team, in terms of principals, if they think they're extra security. So it is an ongoing project that we have. We'll certainly mention it to them. Thank you.
All right, anything else? So what is the time frame for getting your proposal and numbers and stuff, so that, because that would probably be the what we need for the next meeting, right? Not no need for a meeting before, meeting before then. Just trying to,
Probably a month is optimistic, but maybe 2 months.
Yeah, we'll probably need 2-3 weeks to get
Together,
together.
I'd like to get pricing together.
2 months.
Maybe I can,
we're pushing December, early January, something like that probably, right now.
tentative figure like a couple months, and
Yeah.
Alright,
we need to push it out.
we won't set the hard date now, but just to give people a heads up so that something will be coming out. Unless we need something in the interim and stuff. And then we'll be pretty close to kind of finalizing numbers but being able to look at the total budget too, right?
Yep.
And say where we're at and so.
So for right now, I mean, obviously, we're in design with that, and Eric, we think like a couple months, we can follow up with a more firm date through email or whatever.
Okay.
And then once we have that proposal in hand, we'll come back to you guys to be voted on and reviewed. So,
Yeah, we should have, by that point, a good accounting of where we stand with the rest of the
Yeah,
budget
yeah.
and everything else. And
we will.
okay, good. If there's nothing else,
Make a motion to adjourn.
second? We have a second. Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Thank you.